I wanted to play this clip. Netanyahu was on CNN, interviewed by Dana Bash, and
Oh,
she
I
pressed
got
him,
it up if you don't.
she pressed him a little bit on the blocking of aid, and he still blamed Hamas. He said this is all Hamas's fault, but he also indicated, that maybe he will allow more. And whatever, it's not worth playing that whole interview, but I just want to show the end, because at the end, after asking him some like minimally challenging questions, then Dana Bash basically goes out of her way to basically bow down to Israel and just make sure everyone knows that Israel is still this moral actor that cares about human life. It's really, really disgusting. But let's take a look. I have it if you don't hear it. Here we go.
Be laid squarely at Hamas's door, and instead I find it both cynical and wrong, just factually wrong, to try to place the blame on Israel, which is doing everything it can to minimize civilian casualties and to get the humanitarian aid, and Hamas, which is doing the opposite. Instead of placing the blame on Hamas, we'll continue to do it regardless of the PR distortions.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there is no question that Hamas is a nefarious organization doing everything it can to undermine what's going on and to create chaos. But I guess the point is that you're not Hamas. Israel is a democracy, and as a Jewish state, supports and believes in every life mattering. And so I'm glad to hear that you say that you're going to do what you can to get those aid trucks in. And obviously we'll be watching, and I'm sure a lot of organizations are going to be happy to hear what you said today. Thank you.
So Israel is not Hamas. Israel believes in every life mattering because it's the Jewish state, according to Dana Bash. I mean, this is American journalism right now.
Yeah, well, that's CNN especially. I mean, remember after October 7th, Dana Bash and Jake Tapper were just fronting all their coverage to openly Jewish supremacist Zionists who have just wear their Zionist politics on their sleeve. Dana Bash is the daughter of a prominent rabbi in New Jersey, formerly married to John King, who was a CNN correspondent who promptly converted to Judaism in order to marry her. I don't know if he's still doing that since they're no longer married. She was also married to Jeremy Bash, who is the former spokesman chief of staff for the CIA and the Pentagon. So you have someone who is essentially a stenographer and cheerleader for the Tel Aviv, Washington axis, ardently believes in this. And she gets to interview Netanyahu, softballs him. And at the end, she feels so guilty for asking a few critical questions that she has to make that statement and I guess save face so that she can still like show up among her Zionist friends and family.
I mean, he's massacred 13,000 children alone, on top of many thousands more men and women. Just 13,000 children, and she says to him that Israel values human life. And that must be, she can only say that if she completely devalues Palestinian life, doesn't consider them to be human, because she's a supremacist. She's making that very clear right there. And she's not alone. I mean, that's pretty much the attitude.
Israel believes in every life mattering.
Yeah.
I mean, she even like co-opts sort of the language of Black Lives Matter or I don't even think Jake Tapper would be shameless enough to do that. I mean, that was just absurd. And so Netanyahu's still getting the kid gloves.